Court is now in session. Today's case involves a massive betrayal and a boss who got exactly what was coming to him. You're the jury today. Listen to the evidence and let me know your verdict in the comments. Let's dive in. They say marriage is a partnership, but for the last decade, I was the silent engine and Mark was the flashy hood ornament. My name is Sarah. I'm 30 today, at least, I was when the clock struck midnight. Mark and I met in our sophomore year. Back then, he was charming, hungry, and completely broke. I was the one who worked 3 jobs so he could finish his MBA debt-free. I even wrote his resume that got him into the firm he now claims to run. Lately, things shifted. Mark started coming home smelling of expensive gin and a perfume that definitely wasn't mine. It was a heavy, cloying scent, white lilies and vanilla. When I asked him about it, he'd turn it on me. Sarah, I'm managing a $50 million merger. If I smell like the office, it's because I'm at the office. Why are you so insecure? For my 30th, I'd booked a table at Vo, the most exclusive steakhouse in the city, 6 months in advance. I bought a dress that cost more than my first car. But at 4:30 p.m., the text came. Not even a call. Stuck in the war room. Don't wait up. Order some takeout. Happy birthday. I sat in my bedroom, fully dressed, looking at my reflection for 2 hours. I didn't cry. I felt something far more dangerous. I felt done. I didn't just order pizza. I went to the local Italian spot, bought 4 family-sized boxes, and drove to his office. My plan was to walk in, act the part of the doting, supportive wife, and embarrass him in front of his colleagues by making them realize he stood me up on my birthday. The building was silent. The security guard, Mike, who I've known for years, looked at me with pity. He's still up there, Sarah. Suite 1402. But, he said he didn't want to be disturbed. I bypassed the elevators and took the stairs. I needed the burn in my lungs to match the fire in my chest. When I reached the 14th floor, the war room was dark. But the light was leaking from the executive lounge, the place with the leather sofas and the private bar. I heard a woman's laugh, high-pitched, performative. It was Tiffany, his 22-year-old intern who had been promoted to executive assistant in record time. I leaned against the door. Is she going to notice the missing money from the trust? Tiffany asked. Mark's voice was like sandpaper. Sarah? She doesn't even check her own mail, Tiff. She thinks the refinancing papers I gave her were for the house upgrades. She signed her rights to the Tahoe property away yesterday. By the time she realizes we're gone, we'll be in Tulum with her inheritance. I felt the world tilt. He wasn't just sleeping with her, he was liquidating me. I didn't burst in. I took a deep breath, adjusted my dress, and kicked the door open with a smile that didn't reach my eyes. Dinner is served. I chirped. The scene was disgusting. Mark was in his boxers, Tiffany was draped over the desk wearing nothing but one of Mark's dress shirts. The war room was a bedroom. Mark scrambled, tripping over a wastebasket. Sarah. We were brainstorming. With your pants off, Mark? Is that the new corporate strategy? I walked over to the desk, right past Tiffany as if she were a piece of furniture. I opened the pizza boxes. One by one, I flipped them onto the carpet, the desks, and finally, I dumped the last one, extra sauce, extra grease, directly onto his open laptop. You're fired from being my husband, I said. And Tiffany? You might want to check the Tulum tickets. I have the login to his email, too. I walked out. I didn't look back. But as I reached the elevator, Mark caught up to me, half-dressed and red-faced. He tried the gaslight special. "You're overreacting. I'm under a lot of pressure. If you leave now, you'll get nothing. I've already moved the assets." I looked at him and smiled. "Mark, I'm a forensic accountant. Did you really think I didn't notice the refinancing papers were actually transfer of deed forms? I signed them with a disappearing ink pen I bought specifically for this week. In 24 hours, those documents will be blank sheets of paper. But your digital trail? That's forever." The next 3 days were a masterclass in scorched earth tactics. First day, I moved every cent of my personal inheritance, the stuff he hadn't touched yet, into a private offshore account he couldn't access. I changed the locks on the house and put his office clothes in heavy-duty trash bags on the curb. Second day, I met with the CEO of his firm. I didn't go in crying. I went in with a thumb drive. It contained evidence of Mark's creative accounting, how he'd been overcharging clients and skimming the 2% difference into a crypto wallet. Third day, I filed for divorce. But I didn't just file for irreconcilable differences. I filed for fraud and embezzlement. Mark tried to play hardball. He showed up at the house with a lawyer who looked like he'd bought his degree at a car wash. They threatened to sue me for defamation. I sat on the porch, my dog Buster by my side, and handed them a manila envelope. "Inside this envelope is a copy of the security footage from the office lounge," I said. "It has audio. It catches you, Mark, admitting to forging my signature and planning to steal my inheritance. If you don't sign this clean break settlement, where I keep the house, the dog, and 60% of your future earnings for 10 years, this video goes to the district attorney." Mark's face went from red to white to a sickly shade of gray. It's been 6 months. Mark didn't just lose the marriage, he lost his career. The firm fired him and blacklisted him from every major agency in the state. He's currently working as a contract consultant for a local landscaping company, making about 10% of what he used to make. Tiffany disappeared the moment the money dried up. Word on the street is she's assisting another executive now, but Mark is still paying off the debt for that red convertible she convinced him to buy. As for me? I'm in Santorini. Alone. I'm sitting on a balcony overlooking the Aegean Sea. I finally got my birthday trip. I toasted to my 31st birthday a few hours ago. I got a text from Mark yesterday. He asked if I could lend him $500 for rent. He said remembers the good times. I didn't block him. I wanted him to see my reply. I sent him a photo of my view, the blue domes, the sparkling water, the expensive wine. Then I typed, "Sorry, Mark. I'm in a war room right now. Don't wait up." And that is the evidence. In my opinion, the wife was 100% in the right here because after all the wife do, he has the courage to do that. But what does the jury think? Was this justice, or did she go too far? Drop your verdict below, and don't forget to subscribe to join the Reddit tribunal. Case closed.